I think they get him.
Oh, is it working?
Yeah, it's working. Oh, shit.
It's not an ASMR.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You got tricked. Fooled.
Bamboozled even. Hee hee. Yo.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a couple days, maybe.
We haven't become ASMR. And we haven't become ghosts either. We're actually still kicking.
Yeah, that's true. We're still human.
When we try our best.
When we try.
I don't know. I don't mind just jumping into it really quick.
Yeah.
Kind of just like, did we lock in? Follow up on the last one. Did we lock in, man?
Raggy.
I think that's the question everyone's been asking.
Did we lock in?
Mm-hmm.
That is an excellent question. I faltered.
Okay, fair. Yeah, that's valid. Likewise.
Feel like I'm still faltering, but I think innately I'm still in because the fact that we're doing this right now.
Right. It didn't die.
It didn't die.
We had to have locked in. It's the anime moment when you come back to life and you're stronger than you were before.
Absolutely.
I didn't even think of that.
Let's see. I guess this year has been a hell of a year. I've experienced, I guess, some pseudo version of love.
Pseudo version of love. We should unpack that at the right time.
That is true. Makes me realize that in the end of the day, I don't regret it. I think for me, I just forget how much feelings are. Therapy. I feel like I've said it before, but like I've been doing therapy.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that the last time.
Oh, update. That shit's fucking hard.
Oh yeah, I'm doing therapy too. That's pretty muy difícil. It's a little
But it's something. It's I think another reason that I think I am locking in, because in the end of the day, I am giving myself that option to at least say I have attempted, to at least say I have tried.
Tried what specifically?
Tried to understand the mechanics of my brain, my spirit, and my vessel without like crumbling at the side of all of that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And I guess having like a guide.
Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like some days are more productive than others too. Like.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I'd be going in and I'm like, damn, bro, I feel like I'm just gabbing, and he's kind of like, no, that was very productive, and I'm like, well. Dead ass. Shit like that, or like sometimes I'll be going off and I'm like, well, I've never said that out loud, and he's like, now we have to talk about it. I'm like, damn. And my whole thing is I'll get out, and I'm like, shawty. She's like, what? I'm like, ugh. The nice man made me talk about my feelings again. And I just kind of like collapse on the couch and eat ice cream.
Oh, I forget because you do online.
Yeah, you do it in person. I do it online.
Yeah,
definitely different.
Yeah, personally for me, I very much, if I'm able to, will do in person.
I would love to do that. This works for me right now. I would love to do that. I'm just wondering when I should tell him that for like 3 sessions in a row. The screen was black, so I couldn't see myself or him. But I'm like at that point with my therapist. Like, we're just talking, and it's like, no, I'm just looking at a black screen. But when the screen is black and it's at that right angle, it's just a mirror.
Right.
So I'm literally there maintaining contact because he can see me, but I can't see him. So I'm talking to this like disembodied therapeutic voice staring at myself on a tiny little box in my bedroom, and I'm like,
oh, that is an experience in
whoa.
itself.
I'm kind of like, when should I tell him? Like, when am I like, eye contact was the thing we wanted to work on. Well.
Well.
But it's a process, you know. It's a part. It's one part of the locking in process.
Right. It's one part of the locking in process. I guess in my experience with that, it's like with my therapist, it's like seeing that like that mirror, but like within her, and it's very much like at one point like hearing a lot of the stuff I've like said, but like regurgitated like through her own like filters, and then just kind of being like, damn, like I really said all of that, and like realized that like that person I'm talking about is me. And that shit's like really weird because I don't know how you like go, because I mean of course you like talk with therapists, that's the whole thing, but like the way I start is that like I am really bad at just starting because it's like I don't know where to start, so then I have like a vent page and like a vent journal.
Yeah, see, homeboy's been like, yeah, you gotta be doing some structured something. So you're ahead of me on that. That's for sure.
And so it's very much like, but it's so funny at times because it's like, so to get to the place, it's like there's this lobby, and then you enter into the hallway, and it's this long hallway, and she's at the very end to the right, and then but at the beginning she goes like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And then I'm like, I like. I don't know if I could just like be like, oh, I'm doing alright, and then enter into the room and be like, actually, like I'm very fucking depressed right now. Right. So it's like, at least for me, it's like a bit funny because then like it'll be times where like, I don't know, every time I go into the place, and then I sit down on the couch, and then she's like, so how are you doing? And I'm like, and like I'm holding my phone right now. It's like I'm pointing to my phone of like, I think it's time I'm just gonna read my vent page, and she's like, okay, and then it's just like, blah, blah, blah. But I personally think it does help me with going back to the trying to lock in, because it in a weird way helps me like ground myself. But at times it can be very difficult because then it's like like for example, if you like fall down from like a great height, you know, like how energy works, it's got to go somewhere. So then it's like once you hit the air impact on the ground and everything just
sure,
it's like imagine that, but just emotionally.
Oh my god, that is so
yeah,
real, so real. Oh my god, tell me about it.
And it literally like, and it's just so much because but then it's like and to people who have never like tried therapy, and if like one of your like thoughts of not wanting to do therapy is because you're like either self-aware about something, or like you're aware of like why people do the things they do, like sure, I understand that. I genuinely understand it because I myself have done that. I've intellectualized like compartmentalize? No. Compartmentalize? How the hell is that word?
Compartmentalize.
Yes, that fucking word. English.
Yeah, you know how to intellectually understand something, a cause and effect, and you're able to put things in boxes and categorize it.
Right.
But it doesn't help like your emotional understanding of a phenomena or pattern enough to like have a control over it.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because it would be like I'll say all of this stuff, and then she'll hit me with the like, all right, like simply, but how does that make you feel? And I'm like, well, you know, because of, and she's like, no. How does that make you feel?
The worst fucking question
right.
I can ask you. How do you feel? And shut the fuck up. Like,
like it's crazy. Cause then it's literally like, then you think to yourself in your brain like, damn. Well, that made me feel sad.
Right.
And then it's like, even now, like really thinking about it, like I remember like saying like, I feel sad. And then just starting to fucking just cry.
Right, actually letting yourself experience this shit, and you're like,
And it's so much crying. So much crying this year, which then, I just talked about this with him, just before starting this. But I've been experiencing so much emotions that I felt like I've just been burning myself out.
Yo, for real.
And that I feel like I know I am not a negative enjoyer, but because of just constantly of being always in it, I feel like I then had my brain trick itself of like, well, all you're doing right now is just like feeling, and you're feeling like like just shit.
Right.
You know, you could just not. You know, you could just like.
Right.
But then saying this out loud is making me realize that like no, like that's just that little fucker that's just trying to like. Bro.
And you know what I've said? I think it was last time I was talking to.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I feel like, and I know this is a good visual. I feel like I'm a baler, like that compactor.
Ooh.
Where it's just like I'm throwing all this shit in there, all this shit, like daily emotions, traumas, opinions, feel all this shit, and then you just press the button. You close the gate, you press the button, and it just pushes it down as hard as fucking possible. But to the point where then like you press it down and you see the whole machine just shaking. Like screws getting loose, where it was just like, dude, what am I doing? But then at the same time, that like, you know, when you lift that pressure, that shit just swells up and it just and it just rises up, and then it just can't, the machine can't really hold it because it wasn't really holding it because it wasn't actually dealing with it. It doesn't get rid of anything. It just compacts it down. It makes it a hard block.
Right, and the only way that shit can get out is
you literally gotta clean out the whole machine.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was telling him, I was like, yo, that's how I feel, and like my fear is like, when I start letting that out, that pressure off, that so much comes up. I don't even know what boxes are in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what I flatten sometimes, because then things will come up, and it'll be something small, and then I'm like, damn, bro, why does that make me think about this? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm like feeling that for the first time in 20 years.
Right. I literally like
insane.
I get you because okay, so it felt like again when I was saying the beginning of starting therapy, I was just crying. But then I thought like, oh my god, like of course I'm gonna be crying so much. But I realized that's just one of course it's like saying it out loud, it makes sense, one of many like layers upon layers,
right. Oh
because
God,
I realized that like the crying that I was crying previously wasn't even my true self that was crying. It was my current version crying for the pain and adversity that my past self has gone through all my different past selves has gone through. Because
the self-compassion actually exists.
Right. Which is so fucking crazy.
Poor little kid me.
Literally.
Like, damn, bro.
Because I won't go so much into detail, but it's just essentially I had a couple sessions ago where I was talking about just some trauma from my past, and my therapist thought that I was ready to truly talk about just when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I remember she very much just said like, so tell me, how were you like when you were a kid? And I didn't know what to say at first.
Okay.
So I just said the first thing that came into my mind. And I just remember saying, I remember I used to be so bubbly.
Bendito, baby. Oh.
I remember
So sweet.
I said I used to be so happy. I always was told that I was the life of the party, and that I always just had such a bright smile to my face. And now I'm saying it there, but all I could muster at that point was I just remember being told that I was such a bubbly kid. And then afterwards, this is from retrospect now, but apparently I had a really bad episode. Because from what I remember, it was... Okay. It felt like I turned into a spectator. Where I was just watching what my body and my voice was doing. And apparently, and this is what I summarize, I think my kid self came out. And I just remember my entire body was starting to just shake. And I think my voice turned into that of like an infant, or I don't know the proper term, but like it just very much just turned into me saying like, I'm so scared. I'm scared. Please. Like, I'm sorry. And I just started going into like a defense, like just physically defended myself. And then from there, like audibly starting to just cry. But then after what seemed like for so long, it felt like I just had that quick, like, you know, in like video games when you get that like quick time event of like you gotta do this or you'll actually like fall.
Sure.
It was like that, and it felt like I was able to grab control of my body again. And then I remember like getting back to it, and then I just remember like I was still shaking, and I was like, oh, as I'm wiping my tears away, like, oh, sorry about that. That's that's crazy.
Right. No, the snap too. I
yeah.
Get that.
Yeah.
Not that intense, but I understand. You're like, oh, that happened. Sorry about that. Oh my god. And then the therapist was like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Yeah, because
like, oh, wow.
That was the first time where like she said sorry. Like she was like,
"No,
I'm sorry. I did not mean to like get it like that." I'm like, "No, you're
right,
fine
now. It's just me."
It's like, literally just me, just trying to lock in.
Right? Yeah, trying to lock in. I'm just trying to lock in with my inner child, guys.
Dead ass, and Lord have mercy.
Well. That's emotional. How about like? I guess that's emotional, mental.
Yeah.
How about physical? You've been running.
Oh yeah. Oh
that's
yo.
A fun thing. Yeah. That's good.
Check it. So.
Check it. Let me tell you my PRs.
Never in my life have I ever ran this fucking fast. So for context, when I was in high school, I would always hit like in a mile 14, 15 plus minutes. I almost didn't graduate high school because of that shit.
Right.
Yeah, because if you don't know, real quick, there was like a fitness test, and one of the fitness parts, it was doing a mile, and I remember I was trying, and then my coach at that point was just kind of like, just pack it up, like everybody's already like going like inside, and everybody was going inside, so he just like brought me back inside, and they didn't decide to tell me until my last year of high school that like I just didn't have a grade for that.
That's so fucked up. You just never did the mile ever again.
Right? No, I did the mile the other years, just not
just
my freshman year. That one time. I imagine that not being able to fucking graduate because of that.
You don't have your diploma. Why? You didn't run the mile. I ran that shit like 3-4 times. Yeah, well.
Yeah. But yeah.
Was there a stopwatch?
Damn it. But
yeah, what's your time?
So then, but then in my last year of high school, I did, it was I had to do 2 gyms. And I remember it was called like just wellness or health or some shit like that. But I remember being in a class which was full of just girls. And genuinely, like, I really enjoyed that. Because I'm not going to lie, like, I just wasn't in that, like, testosterone or just...
Yeah.
And I remember honestly trying, and in that versions, which in its own merit, I am extremely proud of that person. In that, with that weight that I had, I was able to complete a mile in 10 minutes and 42 seconds.
Nice. Which was in the required time, right?
Which was in the required time.
Yeah.
And at that point, which is nice. And now, present time. I remember I was like, you know what? I gotta try to find another way to lock into physically ground myself. So I was like, let me take up running. So at first, I just did a mile. Like I went around my where I live, and I was able to do a mile in 10 minutes and 33 seconds. And I was like, holy shit. So then I remember doing it again. And then I was able to then hit hit the mile in 9 minutes in 35 seconds, and I was like, holy fuck. And I was like, you know what? Let me like let's just.
What's your current best?
My current best is 6 minutes and 25 seconds.
Nice.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And you're still going.
And I'm still going.
Yeah.
Oh, and 23 minutes and I believe it's 52 seconds doing it in 4 miles.
Oh, for 4?
Yes.
Nice.
But essentially I've been running holy shit, dude, it's like almost 3 weeks. 4 weeks.
Yeah, so you've been doing it like a month or so, yeah.
But I've been running an average of like 3 to 5 miles.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Thank you. And it feels nice. It really feels nice. The biggest, again, going back to the mental, is I'm trying so hard to not diminish that feeling. Because my brain, like, the last time I ran 6 minutes and 54 seconds. And my brain was like, damn, that's crazy. I guess we're just not in it anymore. Like, are you even trying? Are you even? And just going all of that. And but then it literally feels like an old fucking married couple of like, homie. Do you even see these suffers? You're like, you're actually doing something.
Right. You can't PR every day.
Right. It's just, honestly,
You
though,
really can't.
it's having that week of trying the miles.
Oh, well, of course. No, I understand. As someone who used to run like a lot, I totally understand. You just have to give yourself that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It reminds me when I had access to a gym and I was doing weightlifting, and when I was doing like my squats, and each time I was like, oh, like I can do this. So I'm like, oh, that's a new PR. And I remember my friend Chris, who, if you ever see this person,
oh yeah, Chris is jacked now.
Like 700 and fucking squatting type beat.
No,
like, it's
not
crazy.
Squatting.
It's crazy. But anyways, he was telling me like, no, that's not your PR. Because you did that. You did with ease.
Right.
It's when you are barely able, or when you're able to
dying.
do dying
You're
type
experiencing death itself. That is when your best will emerge. That is also honestly true.
Right.
When you hit that shit, you're like, that is gonna be your best. Yeah, but you'll like get there. I mean, you don't kill yourself, but you know.
Right.
But run until you drop. You know what I'm saying?
Can't run until I drop. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that would
die. That'd be lame.
That would be super lame.
No, I'm really happy for you though. That's really good. I'm glad you're physically locking in. I, on the other hand, have done the polar opposite.
Frick.
I just lean into work. I'm just a workaholic. That's the thing that grounds me. I'll be so real. I go into work and I'm actually like, yay, I'm at work. Which is so weird. Because I know, sometimes I'm like, I should just call out. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I want to sleep. It's just because it's overnight. Honestly, it's genuinely because it's overnight.
No,
if this shit was in the morning, like some normal ass shit, totally fine.
Boom.
The only bad thing is that it's just in the night. And I'm just like, bro, I just don't want to do that shit sometimes. But then I'm there and I'm like, it's honestly fine. But like, I've been doing the water shit. So, like doing all the supervising stuff. But then I'm just breaking down the water pallets.
Nah, say the amount.
So
it's
like
it's some
a
good
couple
amount.
100 pounds of just moving shit around.
Yeah.
And then you gotta, because you take it off the pallet, you might organize it onto a cart, or you like organize it in an aisle, and then you actually have to pack it out. So you're like lifting it multiple times. But then I also clean up all the pallets, stack those. Yeah, but then also I stay late because Luis always wants to have a meeting. My boss always wants to have a meeting, like or touch base, like something. And then I have to still then sprint to the train, which is at least. How far do you think that is from the Rye train station to?
No, it is a 20-minute walk.
No, it's not 20 minutes.
It is like
10, 15.
It is a 20-minute walk.
According to who? Google?
According to Google Maps.
Oh, was that with the shortcut though?
No, that no, with that part, it's
with the shortcut, I think it cuts like 5 minutes. That's why I'm like it's 10:15 because I can get to work in a walk in like 10-15 minutes, but I can do that run now in like 3-4.
Oh.
But point is, the physical, it doesn't really matter. It's semantics. No one gives a shit about that shit. No, but it's just the point of, then I will literally sprint out of work. Yeah. My coworkers are like, hey, this is, I'm like, bro, you don't understand. I got 6 minutes to get to this train.
Yep.
Like, my PR will just get me there. And, like, I'm gone.
Yup.
On my fucking, 5 cups of coffee. But, so I'm, like, in that sense, I guess, diet, I'm not really taking care of myself. But I've been, like, pushing myself physically, which, like, kind of gets, like, that energy out, that,
right.
Kind of shit. Yeah, I mean, I try to go for walks and shit when I can, which is nice. Especially when it's nice, bro.
Yeah.
Just watch birds. Oh, my God, bro. Stare at a bird. Anyone that's listening in the ether, on God, stare at a bird. It is the coolest thing God has ever made. It flies. What? Like, really think about that. It flies, and that's, like, walking for it. You know what I mean? Where it's really, like, it's smart, it learns, like, they have emotional intelligence, they have, like, complex social systems, and they fly. Like, just sitting down and watching birds is, like, wow. And, like, the sway of breeze and trees, that's been good for me, of just, like, stopping and, like, oh, shit's nice. The cat helps, but...
Absolutely.
I probably should hit the gym. Shorty keeps talking about going to the gym or doing stuff, and I'm kind of, and she's like, but I know you work overnight, so you're not gonna want to do it. I'm like, nah, like, you wanna get some, like, we'll get gains, like, that's,
yeah.
I just don't want to, I'll be honest, like, I'm kind of a baby, I don't want to do it by myself, like, I kind of, that's cute to be in a couple and, like, do that, you know what I mean? Or even if you have just, like, your gym buddy, like, I so understand why people have gym buddies.
Right, no, deadass. I remember literally, like, except this summer, but every past summer I used to do it with Chris, and like the trip felt really nice. Like, no matter what baggage you had during the day, it didn't matter. You just had a good ass fucking workout.
Right, hype each other up, be positive, like
it just hits.
Friendly, like, banter, rivalry, whatever. Like, oh, I can lift 5,000. This is Chris. Oh, I can lift 5,000 pounds, and it's like, oh, that's good because I can do maybe 400. Like, he doesn't lift 5,000 pounds. If he did, we would have him on the podcast again. Yeah. Just like, how do you do that? He's in front of us right now.
You just hear the fucking just thin collapse.
Yeah, right. No, you know what I just thought of?
What?
Like, you really can't, and I've heard it said before, guys, but like, success cannot happen in a vacuum. Like, you do need people in, like, community and shit to, like, motivate you or inspire you or, like, educate you to do shit. Yeah. And, like, every coin has two sides. You know what I mean? Like,
deadass.
There's more to that. And I feel like also with locking in goes, I feel like we might have talked about this last time, but, like, who do you have around you? You know what I mean? Because, like, if you are around negativity enjoyers or people that are just, like, not on their shit, like, it's just not going to work. Long term, it just won't. Because you'll just have things, aka relationships and people, that are literally just there to distract you. Because they don't serve any other purpose except, like, a distraction. Right. But, we give things the illusion of value very often when it's like, it doesn't really have value at all. Like, now I'm ranting, but, like, the other day, we're in the park. We're hanging out. She looks at me and she goes, would you rather be rich or have no sense of humor? I was like, what? Ooh. No, but, like, you can't be funny and you don't find things funny.
You damn way you can't.
That's what I said. Funny, so it's like, I would laugh, and I'm like, yeah, I'll keep the humor because being rich, like, but then I even said, like, but what kind of rich? Like, let's be real. Am I going to be a bajillionaire? If I'm a bajillionaire, like, sure, like, things probably aren't going to be funny anymore because, like, the shit I'm on is going to be so different. Yeah. I can buy countries or something. You know what I mean? Like, goofy. But, like, nah, bro, you got to just laugh. You know what I mean? You got to, like,
even if that shit hurts.
Like, the grind and, like, the lock-in the real goal, no matter what all the other shit is, the real goal should just be, like, self-fulfillment, like, peace. You know what I mean? Not, like, external validation or, like, material gain. Because at the end of the day, even if that's what you said you wanted, if you're like, I just want to be rich, it's like, that's not really what you want. It just can't be. A human being doesn't need that. So there has to be a reason for you to want something you don't need.
Absolutely.
It has to be like just emotional shit. I don't know. I think that it just you gotta know what the fuck you're doing, and like not even how you do it, but just what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like
right. No, absolutely. I was gonna say no, for me, I guess my opposite really when it comes to work is I preferably honestly enjoy to just work mornings, and I realize it doesn't matter what type of job, as long as it's like a type of job where like I can just that's in the background, and I finish like by 12 by noon one, and I have the entire day to do whatever the fuck I want.
right.
That I feel content with, because I recently started doing mid shifts, and it was I literally realized it is Thursday. I only did 3 days. 3 days of doing mid shifts.
And you're like, wow, this is awful. It's the worst thing ever. Some people just do that.
And that's fine for them.
Right.
That's fine for them. Right. But I know for me personally, it's like I enjoy having the majority of my day to do whatever the fuck I want. I enjoy to just live. I think for me, I'm just so like my reason for locking in, my reason or for trying to lock in, is I'm so terrified of just letting time just zoom.
Right.
And I remember earlier you were talking about of the mentally of the like I don't know either who I'll be or just what will even happen if I were to just let everything go.
Yeah.
And I, from the depths of my soul, I understand. Because after just everything that I consciously can even remember, after so much, what am I without that?
Right. Ooh, right.
Because it is my whole purpose for me even doing this. For literally physically losing a fucking size of a human within me mentally. To like still like actively trying to be the best version that I can. To be with people that I love. To try and love myself. All because of either that anger, that spite. Because that in itself is still another emotion that I should give it value like many others.
Mm-hmm.
It's sure, just, it's just that one.
Right. Yeah, bro. At the end of the day, though, it's all just about like, why are you doing the shit you're doing? Because if you're really out here and you don't know what you're doing, or like in terms of like why you're doing it, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But like if you're really out here like chicken with like without a head, it's like why are you getting up?
Man.
Why are you just moving? And what is the intentionality here?
And it's like even if you truly don't know, you could always start small.
Yeah, no, but that's what's like freaky is some people really don't even they just like like Pac-Man forward until a ghost just shows up and they're like and they're just out. It's like, what? That was it? That's what you did? Come on, man.
Yeah.
So much other shit, you know? Like, I don't know. But I feel overall like I'm improving. Like I'm trying just to not be a shit on the stick, you know, and I'm trying to just live my best life and grow my career and stuff. Oh, I'm doing the training program thing.
Oh, right.
That'd be cool by fall time if I can be like an assistant manager. That's pretty crazy growth. In like a year and a half, I go from like minimum wage to assistant manager is like pretty cool.
Yeah, I was
kind of fire, like not gonna lie.
No, that is pretty fire. I was gonna say I think for my version with that, within that whole thing is if by I guess next year or something, with the way how everything is going because of certain coworkers of mine.
We'll spill the tea at a different time. That's a good episode.
Work. But I think I may be an order writer.
Whoa. What? This is news to me. Just for anyone that's that curious, so we work at a grocery store. Mm-hmm. Do you tell them where we work? Yeah. We're supposed to tell them where we work. I don't know. We're not featured. I don't know. I'm not telling you where you work. We're not telling you. We don't want you to show up. For all the people listening. An order writer, they order the stuff for their department in the store. So like, if I'm an order writer with seafood, I'm gonna order the lobsters and the shrimps and the crabs and the fish. But like, anyway, that's like kind of like a very important job. Anyway,
right.
This is new to me.
The reason why was, again, before, I didn't want to do it because I felt like it was going to take like too much of my time, like outside of work. You're just
the same hours. If anything, you'd have the guaranteed morning hours.
Right. That's the thing. Is that I think I was looking at it honestly, like just because of grocery, and seeing all of that, it's like holy hell, like that's like. It was just a lot. In my like brain, that was like pea brain of just tiredness at that point. It was a lot. But then
grocery is really hard because it's the biggest department. Right,
and then also I wasn't working with those order writers like that's close true, to close. Right. So then this time around, I have a very very great person who is an order writer, and like, of course not explicitly telling me, but just of me picking up, observing what he's doing and all that stuff. It's like, oh. Like, you very much do exactly what we do. It's just, like, you're just more specialized in, like, having to do, like, X, Y, and Z. And that's why you're not on, like, say, the part production or, like, you know, cutting, like, cheese. Also, by the way, I fucking cut the king of cheeses. I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to purposely butcher this. Parmigiano Reggiano. Parmigiano
Reggiano?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's the king of cheeses. It's like a big ass wheel of like cheese.
My name is Paul Paulson.
What yeah. The fuck? Yeah, deadass.
Markson.
But that shit's 90 pounds.
Damn.
It's brutal to cut into.
How do you cut into it? Is it like a buzzsaw, like a? Or is it like an actual fucking knife?
No, like there's specialized knives for like the first knife. It's
like specialized cheese knife, dramatic.
I know. That's why we're part of the specialty department.
Oh my god. Yo, these cheesy ass boys, bro. That's why you got one chick in your department. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know, we smell like cheese.
Cheese.
It's true though. Because you be walking into that freezer, bro. This smell like cheese. Oof. Yeah, we talking about the grocery store.
Yeah.
Don't ever go in the back where they got the cheese.
Ooh, it's stinky.
The eternal fart.
It's literally the eternal fart. It hurts. It literally hurts.
People eat it. It's crazy. Anyway, we should do an episode on cheese.
Oh my god.
To try cheese. You fucked up and tried with cheeses.
Honestly, would love that.
That would be super fun. But anyway, locking in. Yeah. The career thing's important. Even if it's not a real career,
it's still there.
Honest, you're still streaming. That's
I'm still doing
consistent.
That's still going
YouTube,
consistent.
That still is existing.
YouTube. When I'm able to get gigs, I'll get the gigs.
Yeah.
Film gigs.
Yeah, I mean, point is just there needs to be a 1 mile per hour velocity in some direction.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna go nowhere, and that to me is really just inevitably the locking in. And honestly, to answer the fans' questions, I do have to say. Fuck it, man. We locked in. We did. We've done a lot of personal growth. And that's really what this was all about.
Yeah.
And it's just, we haven't been photographing it every moment because, like, we're not in a zoo. This isn't the Truman Show.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have to, like, live our lives before we can talk about it. You know what I mean? For narrating it play by play, it's just, like, weird.
Would it make sense?
Yeah, it's, like, actually gross and cringy. And I'm not a, Gen Alpha 10-year-old. Like, today I'm eating Kraft mac and cheese. Like, no one gives a shit. You know what I mean?
Only human.
Right. But anyway, any 10-year-old out there, like, you should feel free to express yourself, though.
Yeah. I don't know how you were able to get to this podcast, but...
That would be awesome. Who's our youngest listener? Do you mind letting us know? Who's the youngest? Who's the oldest? If you actually let us know, we'll send you something. I promise you that. We'll send you a prize.
Okay.
Just because I really want to know. I'm being so serious. I'll even ask, like, what do you want? Make it rational, but, like...
Right.
Who's the oldest and youngest listener?
Ben.
That'd be fun. I don't know. Just one mile per hour at a time.
Yeah. Small grab.
Small grabs?
No.
Small grabs.
Gradual progress is still progress.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Gradual progress is still progress.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, today might be your last day, man.
That's fine.
Tomorrow's a mystery and yesterday's a memory. That's what they call today the present. I'm fucking genius.
Man. No, but it's true. It's true. Genuinely. You never know what's going to happen in life. So just do what you can and live life to the fullest.
Yeah, we're going to do this more often. Because, don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. I was locked in. We agreed.
We agreed.
No, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
Schedules now have been equalized. The
summertime
vibes have... no, because all that, especially the overnight... There's all these new people and shifting and then holidays and da-da-da and vacations. And, But things are stabilizing.
Nice.
I'm still poor, but I'm richer in spirit than I've ever been.
Honestly.
That'll be real.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, real last thing for myself that I realized my lock-in is the fact that I give myself the autonomy to fucking either just scream or let my mind just feel.
Yeah. And even when it's miserable, it's kind of like, damn, it's better than the androids.
Yeah. It's better than before.
Yeah.
That is one thing I can say no matter what. No matter how much my heart has felt in this current version of my life, it is just not like before.
Right, it's just not like before. Damn. Get that shit tattooed on my fucking forehead, bro. It's just not like before. It's just not. It's so true. Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk again soon. Mm-hmm. So, I'll just say, for everyone listening, if you listen this far, super cool. You're fucking rad. You want to be on the fucking podcast? You want to be on the pod? Just let us know, bro. Honestly, we're sounding goofy. We'll crack open some fucking broskies on us. Yeah. I don't want any excuse to have a beer.
Same.
So, anyway, you want to be on the podcast, that's super cool. But also, continue to do your best and, love yourself and others. And, the best way to love yourself is by loving others because you consciously or unconsciously, your trauma's playing out and, you're projecting and stuff. Mm-hmm. So if you treat others better, you actually are going to treat yourself better because the energy is going to come back to you. That's just kind of how it works. Because, your eyes are designed to see the light outward, not the light that's inside you. The only way you can see the light inside you is kind of by, looking inward. Not with your eyes. Anyway. Did you have any last gems of wisdom?
Gems of wisdom. No, I just want to say outwardly, holy hell, I realized also to a low-key kind of stamp mark, just month-wise, it's May. It's just gonna be the start of the summer. A turn of a turn.
A turn of a turn until it's a circle.
Anyways, yeah, no, I'm very excited to just continue our talks. I know it's definitely going to be very helpful for me, as well as this, and with streaming and with many other stuff, my just simple way of trying to let others know that you are loved and that you're just cared for. And that is something I always just want to strive and to just communicate to others before my time is up. And yeah, other than that, just the usual. Until next time, I hope that you lovely spirits have a beautiful rest of your day or night or in between. Take care and stay safe.
See you later.
Peace.
Bye.